Welcome to Talk Drama to Me. It's your hosts, Tiffany and G. We are here serving that vertical tea because we want that drama in 2 minutes or less. How are you doing, girl?
I'm pretty freaking good because we are back, baby. Oh my God. I'm really excited for this one because the vertical cinematic universe is expanding. Tiffany, tell us about one vertical ingenue, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, man. Jimmy Fallon, you've been saying that these are just getting more and more popular, but now the fact that Jimmy Fallon has hopped on board and parodied one, that's pretty huge, I think, I'm sure vertical actors and production houses are just elated.
Well, this you can find on Instagram, and that's where I watched it because I no longer know your Peacock password. And so I'm going to need that from you so that we can continue watching these. Allegedly, this is Peacock's foray or Peacock's way into the microdrama space. And so you can also find this on the Peacock mobile app under microdramas.
Wait, this is their intro to being like, hey, we're going to start doing our own vertical dramas?
Yeah, I believe so. Because on the announcements of this also were announcements of the Peacock mobile app
Oh,
feature.
dang. Yeah, and also, speaking of Peacock, I changed email addresses.
That's what it is. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, there was a deal that was $70 for the whole year or something like that. It may have been less. And so Mac and I jumped on that, and I was like, let me cancel this one because I'll save money. Once this one finishes, am I just going to go back to the other email account? I haven't decided.
Well, my body is ready because I'm missing out on the soccer. I'm missing out on the Real Housewives. What else is on Peacock? Microdramas. That makes me sad that Peacock costs less than a vertical drama app subscription, and it makes me question my life. Why am I begging you for some shared play here when I spend money on verticals?
How much are these apps costing? I don't even know.
I think Candy Jar also had some sort of like student promo. Let me Google it. Mine costs $80
A year?
a year.
Oh, and that's just for one, and you have multiple, right? Or do you just subscribe to Candy Jar?
At this point, it's just Candy Jar. I don't know. The ones you trusted, half of the stuff became AI. I'm not actually here for that. That's so strange. You can just find the AI ones for free on TikTok. Pro tip, y'all. Well, look, they find you. They find you. You say you like vertical dramas, and then they find you, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much you swipe away, we'll find you. But Candy Jar offers a student discount for $30 a year, but you do have to have your student ID and whatever have you, student email or whatever. So there you go.
Okay.
It is I, student, please give me for $30 a year. I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But at $30 a year, I mean, wouldn't you just do Peacock? There's so much more content on there.
Yeah, and yeah, I absolutely. You have movies on there that have just been taken out of theaters. Like, there's Bravo. Hello.
Yeah. So you can find this on Peacock as well. The Jimmy Fallon vertical we're talking about is Who Billionaire? Me Billionaire. Straight to the point, like we like them. It's a group of ultra-wealthy elites gathered for an extravagant engagement party. The high society engagement party is suddenly thrown into chaos by the arrival of a mysterious stranger. It turns out that this unassuming person is secretly the richest individual of them all. The hidden multi-billionaire has spent weeks meticulously plotting a plan for revenge against one of the arrogant guests due to past cruelty. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know if you got any of that in your free preview.
You told me the preview is about 20%, do 2 episodes. I was like, 2 episodes?
And we hold the line. Well, look, of those, there were some interesting characters that we've seen. I mean, A-list celebrities. Take us through our main characters.
So our characters, we have some pretty famous people, like you just said. Our main male character is Jimmy Fallon as, how do you say his name?
Chastain.
Chaston?
These are rich
Chaston.
people names. Why are you
I know.
asking me? Chastain.
Yeah, this is like 0.3 6% of American names here. An entitled billionaire and reluctant fiance. Another main male character we have was John Stamos as Doug, a mysterious outsider harboring a long, simmering vendetta.
I'm sorry, John Stamos?
Oh, sorry. I
Do you not know who this is?
I do know who he is.
Uncle Jesse?
Everywhere you look. I just see that as AMOS. Amo. Like te amo. I don't know. What's the Greek pronunciation? I doubt they say Stamos, but if he says it, then I'll say it that way. John Stamos.
I don't know if it's with that accent, but I do believe it is John Stamos.
Okay, so then we have Kasey Esser. This is the person I was shamed for on that other podcast for not knowing who this person is. Still barely know who he is, but I recognize the name. And he plays Brax, Chasten's best friend. So then we also have Rose Kelso, who is the Tonight Show writer and performer as Kinsley, Chasten's fiance. And then we have Delaney Rowe. Look at that last name, Rowe. Time 100 creator and digital comedian as Pristina, Kinsley's best friend. So we got some good people.
5 stars. The rich would be proud of you. That is right. Did you ever watch the SNL skit California?
I'm not. I don't know. Probably not. If it's recent,
Okay.
definitely not.
Channel this energy, guys. This reminded me of the good old SNL days where they were mocking a soap opera set in California and everybody had blonde hair and they all talk. I can't even do a Californian accent. Can you? Like,
What is it? Just
vocal fry.
yeah. Mac was just
Yeah.
yeah. Brax and
Cold.
Pristina.
Yes! Channel the energy, girl. So I have fond memories of this. They played a soap opera and they would get hyper detailed into the directions you would take in California, which are complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of that SNL skit or channeling that energy. Take us through to Act 1.
Okay. Act 1, we open with married couple Brax and Pristina arguing because Brax invited a complete stranger to the engagement party of their very rich friends, Chasten and Kinsley.
I love the hard explanation of what's going on, like that whole expose from Pristina. It was so vertical drama coded. I said, yes, whoever wrote this has watched them before. That is correct.
I agree, but I also was waiting for those little sounds, the little like water drops and stuff. They were missing some of those. So I'm like, they've watched them, but not enough as we have.
We are the experts. Where were their sound mixers?
I do think we are considered experts in this field. Would you agree?
We've watched an embarrassing amount of them. Can you be an expert if you've never finished one?
I finished the very first one.
You finished one. And if that's the qualification, that is right. You, ma'am, expert. That is correct.
Well, if you've seen one, you've seen them all, as you have said. You did say that.
Wow. That's going to go on that business card. There we go.
Okay, let me get more into this. So Brax explains that he met the stranger at a gas station. The attendant wasn't coming out and Brax was in a hurry, so this stranger offered to pump the gas for him, so he felt he owed the guy a favor. And what was the solution? He invited him to the engagement party. Then Chasten and Kinsley arrive. Chasten is not happy about the random guest. He aggressively starts chugging his champagne just as the doorbell rings and then walks in Doug. Doug is wearing a hoodie and jeans and brings a hot dog bun as a gift. Oh, and by the way, John Stamos is Doug. Chasten immediately treats him like he's poor and possibly there to steal something. Doug casually says he was at the golf club, not as a golfer.
Dun, dun, dun. Let's talk about Doug. Let's talk about this zip-up hoodie. The other clothes are fine. They feel like, I don't know, some Brooks Brother interpretation of what a billionaire should be. And Kinsley with her little pink Chanel knockoff bag. Did you clock that? I thought, oh, guys, couldn't even bring the Chanel. Put me in Chanel, you know what I'm saying?
They have the budget. It's NBC.
Right. It is Jimmy Fallon, guys.
Right. He could have supplied that himself.
What if they actually ran this like a vertical and they're like, actually, we need everyone to bring their own outfits to set. Thank you so much. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like non-union, no intimacy coordinator.
Pristina's dress fit too well on her for it to be off the rack. I have a conspiracy. Now, John Stamos, though, Where did that man get the zip-up hoodie? Because that was a worn-in hoodie, and that was not his hoodie. I'm going to tell you that right now. That man does not own a hoodie.
What makes you say that?
John Stamos?
You don't think he owns a hoodie?
John Stamos used to be a 90s heartthrob. There is no way he owns a raggedy-ass brown zip-up hoodie. Did you see? It's like they put it in the dryer and left it there too long. John Stamos is too rich to have a housemaid who puts stuff in too long. She put stuff in at the right time.
Okay, do you think that, have you heard of like when someone looks, this is like very much in New York, if someone looks homeless, it actually means they're really rich? What if this is actually a very expensive hoodie, like, I don't know, Rag and Bone or something, the first brand I thought of. That is a very fancy brand, and or like Saint Laurent, and it's just a
That's
rag.
like Balenciaga coded. I think
Yeah,
a
yeah,
few
yeah.
seasons ago, they definitely
Mhm.
did something like that.
When they have like holes.
Can I tell you, the rich people I know, I wouldn't say they look homeless, but I think they look put together casual. And this is going to get really creepy, so sorry to all my rich friends. Their clothes are soft. Do you ever? Or they feel like actual material, not just rayon.
Yeah.
So, in Portugal, we go in for the kisses, and then I'm like, oh, look at this. It's a soft dress.
Mm-hmm.
Must cost $2,000. Yeah, so I don't know if they have to look homeless. I do think that was a choice on John Stamos's part.
He's like, you got me here, but that's it.
Yeah, there's a limit. Just as there is a limit to this vertical budget. Okay, back to the regular format. Not a DNF, although there was really no difference. But I promise everyone I go all the way through. Tiffany stops at about 20%, what we consider a free preview. Tiffany, you watched 2 episodes of a 10-episode free vertical drama. You definitely could have gone beyond. Pass or play, should we go?
I actually didn't enjoy the story as actually much as ones that you've shown me. So for that reason, I'm like teetering on saying no, but I actually want to see how they do. If I maybe reserved a little more time than what I normally do of, let me watch this right before we're about to have the podcast so it's fresh, I probably could have gone beyond.
Do you feel like a smug energy coming off of me right now? Because I have told you that I curate our episodes for you, okay? And I have told you time and time again, these are some of the best, okay? Do you recognize now?
We did this one because of me.
Yes, and you chose a worse one.
Yeah, this is much worse. That's why it's much worse. I didn't think much worse, but yeah. That's why I'm kind of nervous. If this is foreshadowing to what NBC is doing for their verticals, it's not gonna be good. Yeah, Candy Jar and all of them are better than them. So
Wow, you heard it here first, guys. Our prediction, the Peacock microdrama feature, not gonna do well. Not with the likes of these.
I just feel it's so easy, like, right? The formula is so easy, and they kind of woofed it. They should have just used an actual script or redone a script that's already been done. That would have been hilarious.
Guys, you should have come to us. We would have picked a script for you that really fit Jimmy Fallon. What would I have wanted to see him in?
Jimmy Fallon does make a really good villain, though. Like,
He does have crazy eyes sometimes.
well, he
Yeah.
just has that, like, bitchy face. You know, like, when a guy is kind of bitchy, he has those sharp features. And I'm not saying that because I've met him in real life, like, quite a few times, and he's so nice. This is just, like, I think his face does the bully really well.
Ooh, what if it was a corporate espionage kind of vertical drama, CEO against CEO, right? Billionaires again.
Yeah. You're
Come on,
onto
guys.
something.
That's season 2, y'all. They have jobs. They have real jobs. As all billionaires do, of course. Okay, well, guys, here we go. You asked for this, and it's not every day that you ask for a vertical. Typically, I'm like, do you want to watch another one about teens? so, so much. Really sorry. That's all that's out there, Tiffany. I look. There are no werewolves today. Fresh out.
You better start finding them because we're approaching fall.
It's on me. So much pressure. Well, today there are no werewolves. Today we just have billionaires. We are going to take you through to the rest of this free vertical drama series from Jimmy Fallon and his best friends. Let's go behind a pseudo paywall. Okay, so big conflict was country club, rich people, golf. Doug, no golf. Caddy. Shock. Kinsley, the fiance, starts wondering whether Doug has some sort of secret. Oh my God, look at her, Nancy Drew. Rax comes back into the room and asks Doug how he managed to fill up his car so quickly. And Kinsley, meanwhile, mentions that she has recently tried to help her housekeeper after the oxygen tank became disconnected, but our girl didn't do a thing. Do you ever have thoughts of helping people and then you don't help them?
All the time.
I think at least I thought about helping them.
Yeah, all the time. Especially in New York, shit's happening all the time everywhere. Like, you're constantly seeing something where it's like, oh, should I step in? I've debated this with my boyfriend where there's been some pretty serious moments, dangerous moments, where we look back on it. I'm like, should we have done something? And he was like, no, the guy had a knife. We had to get out of the train. And I'm just like, shit. Like, but this German tourist like had it. He took him down. Whoa. But then there's other times, sometimes just for your own safety, like if homeless people are a little mentally woo-woo, crazy, they'll be screaming at you and you get a little scared. And it's like, all right, you know what? I'm going to just keep going about my day. I think the easiest thing is just helping mothers. Full stop. Always help a mom if I see a mom. Like with the strollers, coming in and out of the subway, things like that. No questions asked. Always mom.
That's actually so nice of you. You're nicer than Kinsley, who thought about helping but did not. So look at you, gold star. And New Yorkers, look, this is what I love about New Yorkers. You live there. You tell me if I'm wrong. New Yorkers may not be, how do I say this? They might not be nice, but they are kind, or is it the other way around?
We're not the warmest people. However, I would say that transplants are meaner, like up front. But native New Yorker, they've always helped me. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a cute girl, but there have been times where I'm visibly like, I don't know where the fuck I am. And it's always a native New Yorker that's like, are you okay? Where do you want to go? Or like, where are you trying to get to? But when I first moved here, I remember I stopped a transplant like me. Oh, excuse me. And they want nothing to do with you. It's like, fuck off. I have somewhere else to be. They've embodied the New York mindset, but like tenfold.
Speaking of mean people, let's get back to it. Chasten then suddenly notices something very important. Doug, our down and out friend, does not have a sweater. And so he puts one of his own sweaters on him. And while they're standing there, extremely close proximity, so vertical drama coded how close they were. I was like, do you guys just want to kiss at this point? I'm there for this kind of drama. You know what I mean? I love a good boy love drama. They just start exchanging very thinly veiled words, Doug asking Chasten if he is a betting man. And Chasten's face drops. Doug immediately tosses the sweater back at him and walks away to quote-unquote freshen up. Chasten heads into the kitchen for more champagne, while Kinsley confides in Doug that about a week ago, Chasten's entire personality changed. She says it's almost as if he gambled away his entire fortune or something. And now, Kinsley starts to suspect that maybe Doug isn't quite as down and out as he looks. Brax wonders if he's seen Doug before. Maybe at the country club, carrying Chasten's golf clubs? So oddly specific, guys. You gotta love a vertical for giving it away, but let's keep going. I'm sorry, let's keep going. And then Chasten suddenly reappears holding a key fob to a Rolls-Royce, the preferred vehicle of billionaires. Kasey Esser, he just does dumb billionaire so well. Like, kudos to this man, snaps. He says, my keys are in my Rolls-Royce, which is inside of my garage, which is inside of my mansion. Sort of a turducken of wealth. Great delivery. I mean, that gives the man some awards.
Turducken of wealth is crazy. Yeah, that's amazing.
That is such a banger of a line. God, stealing that from my everyday. But Doug is able to quickly steer the conversation back to Kinsley and her wedding obsession. They need $255,000 just for the wedding venue. Chasten immediately spits his champagne all over Brax, who then storms off to change his shirt for the second time that day. Apparently, earlier that morning, he had sea bass Benedict and got something on his shirt. God dang it. He had sea bass Benedict and got something on his shirt. I'm not rich enough to say these words. What even is a sea bass Benedict? I don't know.
That sounds gross.
What is it?
Like, I just think of eggs Benedict. Or if we're talking about food, sea bass, like fish with eggs Benedict. I already don't like eggs Benedict, and that just sounds even more gross to me.
Is it because it's gooey?
It's just very fattening. It's very creamy and heavy. I don't like runny eggs also. It weirds me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The vocal fry.
Yeah. Look at me channel my inner California. Let's go. Um, Chaston turns his attention back to the key fob and starts wondering whether there could be a secret billionaire among them. Again, Doug uses Kinsley and the wedding to redirect the conversation, but Chaston doesn't want to entertain her and wedding talk, and Kinsley runs off crying. Christina follows her, leaving Chaston and Doug alone in the living room to go toe-to-toe once again. Meanwhile, Christina finds Kinsley buttoning Brax's shirt. Chaston sees this and immediately assumes they're having an affair. So he cancels the wedding, which means they're no longer in need of the $255,000 deposit. Doug points that out, and suddenly, Chaston immediately changes his mind. He wants to get married. Then we fast forward to Chaston trying to figure out why the Rolls-Royce key fob doesn't work for Brax's Spectre, because this key fob is actually for a Phantom. The Phantom, the car of a billionaire's billionaire. These are words I don't understand. I have just said them. I have recited them because the Instagram reel tells me these are true words. I have no clue. Do you know anything about, do these sound like fancy cars? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not the person. We need to have like a phone a friend moment where I can be like, Jason, my brother, he knows everything about cars.
Oh my God, he would know. He would know. So now they realize that really there is a secret billionaire among them, and Doug finally reveals that it is in fact him, a self-made billionaire. He made his fortune from the prediction market on a single bet. But before anyone can get to the part where Chaston lost his fortune, he suddenly tells Kinsley that he's thought of his wedding vows. He confesses that he recently lost his entire fortune on a single bet, but because Kinsley has family money, it would really mean the world to him if she could still marry him and keep him rich. Because, true love. Brax asked the obvious question, what did Chaston actually bet on? And this man bet on the Muppets not appearing during the World Cup halftime show, which, in all fairness, that is a pretty reasonable bet.
It's so random.
Yeah, like you mean the Muppets being in the World Cup halftime show?
That's so random, yeah.
Yeah, what do the Muppets have to do with football, y'all?
It's almost like there's insider information.
It's a Muppet conspiracy, y'all. We're getting to the tail end of this. Christina starts piecing it together that Chaston's $1 billion loss is somehow connected to Doug's $1 billion gain. Turns out, yes. Chaston goes to smack Doug, but Brax immediately intervenes. Kinsley steps in and says that if all this is true, then maybe she should actually be engaged to Doug's money. Poor Chaston is distraught. He begs Doug to explain why he would do this to him. And Doug reveals that he used to be Chaston's lowly caddy, the very same caddy Chaston berated for scuffing his golf bag. That day, Doug decided he was going to ruin this desperate gambling addict. And just when you think we've reached the end of this absolutely vertical cinematic universe story, we get one final twist. Doug is already engaged. The doorbell rings, and we're left wondering, who is the fiancé?
Cliffhanger. They don't even tell you.
Does he even have a fiancé? Is like his fiancé from Canada? You know what I mean?
Actually, the ending of this, it gets going. This is very vertically, this ending storyline part.
And the revenge story, because the slights in vertical dramas oftentimes are not like real slights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many times in K-dramas. There's one I'm watching now that I just finished, called Dream to You. We've talked about this because Lee Sang-yeop is in it, the Korean vertical we were just watching.
Yeah.
There's so many times in that drama I think everyone's forgotten that you are handsome and rich. And so this problem in the drama is not actually a problem if you really put on your thinking brain and you look yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I am rich. And yes, money could, in fact, make this problem go away. Can I spoil it for you?
Yeah.
At the tail end, they break up because it's always been her dream to go to film school. Right? And she wants to see that dream through. And the guy, who's now a rich and famous director, says, don't go, stay with me. And then they break up. And I think, sir, get closer to the cameras. Come here, come here. You are a rich, famous director. You could just decide to have your next film in whatever location she chooses.
Yeah.
And that film maybe also films for 2 years. I don't know. Are you filming Dune? Possible. I don't know. But you are rich and famous. You have the agency to say, your film school in Paris. That's so weird. My next film is also in Paris.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Instead, it ended with him seeing her 2 years later at some event, and then it's kissy kiss 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 time because it's called Dream to You, but should have actually been called Lots of Kisses to You.
I thought you were going to tell me a La La Land ending where they see each other a couple years later and she's become something and he's, playing his piano still but I don't think they end up together in La La Land. That was the whole sad part about it.
That's right. No, this is a vertical people want. I'm sorry, this is a vertical. This is a K-drama. What's the difference at this point? This is a K-drama, and I think the sad ending was for our guy. He didn't get the girl, but if one couple has a sad ending, then it's almost guaranteed the other couple is going to have a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be sad all the time.
No. I love a happy ending, so.
Well, did we get one here? Pass or play? Knowing the full story, would you recommend people to go beyond?
I think so. Not even. It's really just because it's John Stamos and Jimmy Fallon and then a vertical star in this one thing. It's a cool idea, even though I don't like how it started and I thought it was pretty slow and not a great story in the beginning. I do think people should watch it.
I think people should watch it because Jimmy Fallon is so famous. What if it brings other famous people into our medium, right? And now all of a sudden they're like, actually, this is a real art form. Thank you. What have we been saying? But this is a real art form. Sorry, I'm having a fictional argument with the Hollywood star. Sorry, bringing it in. No, I mean, I think it's a great way for them to dip a toe in the vertical drama space. And if that means we're getting more John Stamos types, like, why not, right?
Right. Yeah, totally.
I also think that if it goes places, I mean, you're telling me NBC doesn't have money? Like, they could do something greater in the vertical drama space.
Right.
Then Rich People Engagement Party, they had a really sad charcuterie board. Did you see that?
No, I don't remember. No.
Okay. Along with the champagne and some of the scenes, you could see there's a charcuterie board, and it was like 2 pieces of cheese and grapes. I thought maybe they're
Vertical
all on
budget.
Ozempic.
Oh my God. Speaking of Ozempic, I just saw this post of this person that's a colleague of mine, and it was a post of lunch at all these places with her friends, different people. At least 2 of the people looked so much skinnier, including that person. And I'm like, don't lie. You guys weren't even eating. Come on. You guys are all on Ozempic. It's also me just jealous because I've gained weight.
I know.
I'm like,
it was a tepid girl summer.
Depression girl summer.
Well, but I will see you soon. We've just discovered, right? You will be back on a European tour. I don't know if you can say who, when, where, why, but I shall fly to you, madame.
It's going to be so great.
Excited. Should we try to do recording?
Oh, we absolutely should. Yes, 100%.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
What are we thinking?
Okay, I will bring my mics.
I can bring mine too.
Can we do it in a hotel room? Can we be in little robes and maybe a sheet mask? Oh, I have it in my head.
And then drinking champagne.
And I want to watch one. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. You have to really...
Should we live stream it?
We could do that. I do think that you should really, really put some thought into, not that you don't already, but like what one am I going to sit and watch in its entirety?
Here's the thing, though. I can't have it too inflammatory because I am actually a little afraid you can't regulate yourself. There are a lot of things we have to cut out here because guys, she cuts deep sometimes, and I'm like, I just cried for them.
I'll be fine. If we're drinking though, I can be a little emotionally flammable, so I'll work on it. It'll be great. No, I'll work on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on myself always, and this is just another test,
We love self-improvement. Look at you. Self-improvement ball. Guys, okay, so Who Billionaire, Me Billionaire, driven by Jimmy Fallon, is exclusively streaming on the Peacock mobile app. You can find it under microdramas, if that's your calling. Peacock, I think, does have a deal right now, so I don't know. Go get it, just so we can talk about Real Housewives, right? Speaking of which, welcome back to Tiffany's Tea Time.
Boom. I know you did say speaking of housewives, this is not actually like cute tea time, but it's like storming. I'm surprised that you haven't been privy to the Lindsay Clancy trial at all. She is a real housewife.
I don't know the details.
She's an actual housewife. In 2023, she's a former labor and delivery nurse. She strangled her 3 children, and one was 5, one was, I wanna say, like, 3, and one of them was, like, not even a year old, like a baby. So, 1 daughter is the oldest, and then 2 young boys, in Massachusetts. She pled not guilty to murder charges, with her defense criminal responsibility because postpartum psychosis. And we've talked about postpartum psychosis before, where I've told you, I feel for these women when I hear these stories because I'm like, I already become a freaking dinosaur without even children, and if I don't get enough sleep and all these factors. So I can't imagine just months and months and months on end where you're being subjected to just, torture techniques, sleep deprivation. There's all these things that I feel so bad that we haven't done more for women going through postpartum depression or psychosis rather. But yeah, the prosecution just rested, so now it's the defense, it's their turn. But this started out with people being like, how could this woman do this? And like, just hating the woman. And then once the trial started, it was very clear that she was kind of on her own island. Her husband was not helping her. He was not present. And he actually ended up remarrying a year after this all happened. And there's speculation that maybe he was already seeing that woman. And now there's even speculation that people have been like connecting things that like, did he do it? Which I'm not sure if that it's quite that. But, it's like a crazy case. Like you have to look into it. There's so much damning evidence of just for the case of psychosis and her not really knowing what she was doing. Like she jumped out the window. Like after her kids died, she jumped out the window trying to kill herself and slit her wrists and just jumped out the window. Like she's in a wheelchair now. She is not, I don't think she was trying to live, And to me, it's like, I think she's had the worst punishment of all, which is she's now living after doing such a horrible thing and not being all there to, come get out of it. There was history of mental illness. She was seeing a psychiatrist. She checked herself in. There's also evidence that the Google searches that happened that the prosecution was claiming was she like did this premeditated and not in like a psychosis. They have evidence that she wasn't even home when those Google searches happened. So it's like, who did those Google searches? So it's a crazy case. It's heartbreaking, but it's just all I see on stuff right now.
Well, that makes me really awfully sad for everybody involved, but most like, the children. I think that's one of those times I think maybe the system is not set up in the best way to provide care for children. I think we as a society are like, oh, I'm sorry, can I make the generalization? I think sometimes Americans are really cutthroat about it. It's like, your kid, your problem. Oh, well, I wonder if that's not the most empathetic approach.
Yeah. I also think that we need more support for women after they have children, and there just needs to be.
But this is what I mean. You're on the socials. You've seen this more. Is there a sentiment where it's like, well, you decided to have the 3 kids. This is your fault. This is your problem, Guys, again, I don't know if that's the most empathetic approach we've got here, right?
You're absolutely correct. There's definitely the audience of people that are like, this is a mother and she killed her kids. Give her the death penalty. She needs to go to jail for the rest of her life and all these things. And so I just think it's so much more than that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You should look into it. Let me know what you think. It's really sad, but.
Girl, I'm not going to, because just you retelling the story makes me really sad and makes me want to go hug my kids. But in like a light, warm kind of squeeze kind of way. So they'll be like, Mom, are you okay?
This trial did not make it to your algorithm or in Portugal at all.
No, I've heard of the name, but it's not something I'd never kind of gone into the details. I mean, there's so much of that, though. There's so much coming at me at the same time, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of women sleuths on TikTok have been making videos and compiling all the evidence. So that's been pretty cool. Just like crazy shit.
You're down in the rabbit hole. When does the trial wrap up, or do you have any idea timely?
It's supposed to last roughly 6 to 8 weeks, it says, and it started about a month ago. So figure another month.
Okay. Well, keep us posted, and I do have high hopes in the law to adjudicate, and I think that's why we have the law, so that we don't burn people, she's a witch. So it's an awful, awful situation, and I feel for everybody who's deeply involved in that, not just like TikTok involved in it.
Definitely, definitely.
The other day, a friend of mine, a new friend, look at me, new friends, doesn't have
Hey.
kids. I know. We were actually gonna go play tennis, and then I was so jazzed to tell you that I also have started tennis. But because it is not hot girl
Wait,
summer,
what?
it is tepid girl
When
summer.
did you
Girl,
start?
no, I didn't. Wait, hold on. So we were gonna play tennis
Sorry.
because she has the rackets and stuff. Look at her, a tennis pro. We were gonna play tennis, and I was so excited to come back and report to you that I'm having a hot girl summer. But because we are actually having a tepid girl summer, I like slept wrong and I couldn't move my neck a certain way. And so I
Oh,
told
man.
her, I'm so sorry, but can we walk instead? My neck is not necessary for a walk. So she kindly agreed. And when you're walking and not looking at someone, it's an opportunity to really get deep. And so she asked me, do you enjoy being a mom? Boy, this is a long conversation. How much time do you have, right? I do enjoy being a mom. It adds a lot of color and texture into my life, but it's hard at the same time. It is really hard. And I don't know, I think the more honest we can be about the struggle without being like, and that makes you a terrible mother. Just endure it because they're your problem, right? I think the more we can be empathetic to that experience, the better we can be. The better we can help each other because you don't know what people are going through. Like, I love my kids, but girl is very clingy, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So she is not less clingy since I last saw her a year ago.
Your eyes. You thought she couldn't be. Again, I do love being a mom. Has she been less clingy?
I love being a mom.
That is right. That's where this podcast stops, so I can scream on the inside. No, she could not possibly be more clingy, but she is now stronger. I need to work out. That's what's happening here, guys. I need to work out so that I don't get pummeled by my 1-year-old. That is correct. Yes. All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for hanging in there. I always say that as if this was like a tough thing to do. Guys, we're all trash pandas. We all love vertical dramas. And so glad that vertical cinematic universe is expanding. We're seeing a lot of different faces and old ones. Kasey Esser, what's up? Follow us on TikTok, Insta, YouTube, and Substack. We're posting the clips, the thirst traps, and the theories. Talk Drama to Me now drops every Wednesday. Back on that regular schedule. Hey, bye for now.